Hello, here we are again, and welcome to day 26. Let's bring the hands together and set our intention or dedication. Now let's roll forward, and we're going to make our way into child's pose. So take the hips back to the heels, and keep the arms reaching in front of you. And stretch out the spine. The head can rest on the mat. If it doesn't, though, don't worry about it. Inhale here. Exhale, walk the hands to the right. Hips will shift off to the left a little. The left side of the body gets a nice stretch. Inhale, hands to center. Exhale, walk them to the left and hips to the right. Stretching out through the right side of the body. And inhale back to center. Up onto the hands and knees. Let's stretch our shoulders a bit. Inhale your right arm off to the right. So wrist under shoulders, knees under hips, and then right arm out to the right. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it under the left arm. Come onto the right shoulder. Draw your left hip back a little, and then you can rest your hand on the lower back or take the left hand over and grab onto the right hip. So I'm going to try to roll your top shoulder back and widen your collarbones as that left hip draws back. And then come on back to center on your inhale. Wrists under shoulders again. Knees under hips. Left arm out to the left. Inhale and exhale. Take the left shoulder to the floor. Now pull the right hip back, right hand to low back, or reach around and hold onto your left thigh. And again, try to roll the top shoulder back so the collarbones will widen. And that right shoulder, that top shoulder might not move at all. And that's completely fine. Just wherever you are opening your shoulder. Inhale, come on back to center. And then wrists under shoulders again, knees under hips. Reach your right leg back, tucking the toes under. Lift your right inner thigh up. Then lift the whole leg off the floor from the inner thigh, but don't let the outer right hip lift. It wants to. Stretch the left arm forward. So opposite arm and leg. So dropping the right hip down, pinning the left hip in, and stretch through the arm and leg. Keep the ribs and belly in as well. And release back to table. Left leg back. As you lift it, you'll lift it from the inner thigh. Drop the outer left hip down. And right arm forward. Actually, let's lift the left leg up first. And then right. So keep those hips level and don't overarch the back. And then when you're ready, right arm forward. So if you point your left toe straight down to the floor, you can look back there and see if the left ankle is flexed. That's a good indication that your hip is not opening up. Release back to table. And we're going to add a little core work to this one. There's some core work in today's class. Right leg back. Inhale, lift it from the inner thigh. Drop the outer hip. Don't let that hip open up. And then reach the left arm forward. Stretch through the arm and leg. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the knee in. Draw the elbow into center. Inhale, reach up, drop the outer right hip down. Exhale, draw them into center like you're moving through water. Make some resistance. Inhale, stretch through the arm and the leg. Exhale, draw it in. Pull the belly in strongly. Inhale, reaching forward. Stretch out. And then exhale, release back to table. And we'll do the left side. Left leg back and then lift it up from the inner thigh. Drop the outer left hip down. Right arm forward. Take an inhale to stretch. Keep the belly lifted so the low back doesn't overarch. Exhale. Draw the knee in and draw in through the right elbow. Inhale, extend everything out. And then exhale. Draw it all in. Upper back will round a little bit. Inhale, stretching out. Keep the belly lifted. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale to reach. And then release, back to table. Walk the hands forward about a handprint, tuck the toes, and lift up and back for down dog. And then bend both knees, sticking your hips up into the air as if you could touch your belly to your thighs. That'll stretch out your spine, but keep your ribs and belly in as you do that. And then start to bicycle the legs, bending one knee and then the other. And stretching out. Make sure the arms are shoulders distance apart. Bend both knees, hips up high again, stretching the spine, and then straighten out the legs. Spread the fingers, press into the base of the fingers, lift up through the forearms, spin your triceps, your upper outer arms back. Look to the hands, bend the knees, step the feet all the way up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold. Hips over heels if your legs are straight. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, samastitihi. Steady balance, finding our center here in Tadasana. So feet parallel. Spin your inner thighs back as you reach your tailbone down. Lift your chest, draw your shoulder blades down toward the waist and press them forward toward the chest. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale and fold in. On your inhale, come halfway up and lengthen out your spine. And exhale, step back into plank pose. Knees to the floor. Shift forward, lowering to the belly. Untuck the toes and inhale for cobra. Pull the hands toward the feet. Exhale to the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Arms and ears in line. Stretching the weight up to the hips, reach it down toward your heels. Gaze between the knees or the feet here. Then look up, hips high. Step or hop your feet to the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rooting down through the feet, reach all the way up. Spin the triceps forward. Exhale, samastitihi. Inhale again, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms. Top of a push-up. Keep the legs engaged. If this gets to be too much, take the knees down. Otherwise, we're going to hold for a few breaths. So we're holding plank and then slowly exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, back into down dog. So as I mentioned, we will have some core work today. Right leg up, inhale. Exhale, draw the knee in, shoulders over wrists, and hold. You can take that left knee down if it gets to be too much. Inhale, lift the right leg back and up from the inner thigh. Exhale again, shoulders over wrists, hold that leg in. So pulling the belly in to hold and then step it forward, spin the back heel flat. Inhale, warrior two. Line up front heel and back arch. Make sure your right knee is over your ankle. Lift your chest. Drop the left arm, reverse your warrior. Bend into the front knee. Inhaling up. Exhale, right forearm to right thigh, left arm up and over. Spin your left tricep forward. Get length through the torso. Inhale, back into warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, step back. Down dog to stay or come to plank and lower through chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Knees can be down though. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Remember, you can skip any of those vinyasas. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee forward, draw it in. Shoulders are over the wrists. As if you could touch your thigh to your belly. You can take the right knee down. That's okay. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale again, draw it in, shoulders over the wrists. Now look forward, step it right in the middle of the hands, spin the back heel flat. Inhaling, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Knees over the ankle, stretch out through the arms and lift the chest. Spin the back inner thigh up. Now drop the right arm to reverse, stretch out the side body. It's a side stretch, not a back bend. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm up and over, spin the right tricep down. Opening the chest toward the ceiling, any amount. Inhale, sweep back into warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down and take your vinyasa. Or skip it and go to down dog. Chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, stretch back. And nice and long through the spine as you breathe. And then walk your hands all the way back to the feet for forward fold. Grab your opposite elbows or your feet. Or you can hold behind the calves if you want to go in a little deeper. And then let's stretch out those wrists. So we're going to walk the feet onto the hands so toes touch the wrist creases. So bend your knees as much as you need to in order to do that. I have to spin my rings the other way around or else it really hurts. Straighten out the legs if you can, and then you'll pull up on the kneecaps. It's nice to stretch out the wrists sometimes. This is called Padahastasana. Pada means feet, hasta means hands in Sanskrit. Inhale to look up, and then we'll exhale and walk it back out into down dog. Get nice and long through your spine. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it up between the hands again, spinning the back heel flat. Get a block handy if you like for triangle pose. And then so setting up triangle, heel to arch. From the hip crease, you'll lean forward, get as much length as you can, and then take your right hand down to the shin or block. Stretch through the left arm. Try to lengthen from the right hip crease through the right armpit. Bottom ribs forward, spin the top ribs back, press into the base of the big toe of the right foot. Look up at the hand if it's okay on your neck, or you just let that head go, let the neck go. Now take your left hand to the hip, look down, bend your front knee, walk your back foot in a little bit first. Pick up your block, take it 6 to 12 inches in front of you on the pinky toe side. Float your back leg up, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So reach your left sitting bone toward your left heel. Again, press into the base of the big toe of the standing leg. And stretch out from your right hip crease all the way to the right armpit. Keep the belly lifted. Your heel and your hip should be about in the same line with that lifted leg. Now we're going to come back to triangle pose. So slowly bring yourself back. Just for a breath. And then, looking down, we'll windmill the arms down and take a vinyasa back to plank. Or skip it and go to down dog. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, press up through the hands and feet. Exhale, lift the hips for down dog. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it right in the middle of the hands. Back foot flat, heel to arch. Come on up, and then straighten that left leg. I like a little shorter stance, that's why I walk the foot in. From the hip crease, lean as far forward as you can. Take your left hand down. Use a block if you wish. Right arm up. I like a block for half moon pose. I have kind of a short torso, so in a half moon pose it's hard for me to, I can balance, but it just looks really, the alignment just looks off. So we're going to extend from the left hip crease through the left armpit. And reach up through the top arm. Then take your right hand to your hip as you make this transition. Look down, bend the left knee, walk your back foot and get real steady first. And then as you're ready, you'll lift it up and maybe add the right arm up. So your right hip and heel are about in the same line. The standing leg is firm. Those toes on the left foot want to turn in. So keep the left foot parallel with the outside of the mat. And just stretch out as much as you can here. And if you fall out, no worries, come back. Slowly, slowly make your way back into triangle pose. Heel to arch. It's a nice little transition. And then step back, either down dog to stay or plank pose, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog and then back to down dog, your choice. Back to steady breath. Remember, child's pose always an option. Inhale, plank pose. Firm the belly, firm the legs. We're going to step the feet together, roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot, lift left arm up. Take the bottom knee down for more support. Or you can play with lifting. I've got one foot on top of the other. You can also take the left foot in front of the right foot for balance. Try and bring your top hip a little bit forward. Then left hand to hip and back to plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. If you would love to take a vinyasa, please do. Otherwise, downward facing dog. Breathing, smooth out the breath. Inhale back into plank pose. Feet together, roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Reach the right arm up. Take the bottom knee down for more support. Bring your top hip a little bit forward. Stretch up through that top arm. Spin the left inner elbow slightly toward the front of the mat. Keep your belly drawn in, tailbone reaching to heels, and then right hand to the side. Come back to plank and chaturanga or go right into down dog. Inhaling up. Exhale, stretch back. And then to the knees. I'm going to sit back on the heels. We're going to do a dolphin pose, interlacing the fingers. Make sure your elbows do not go wider than your shoulders. Keep the elbows right under the shoulders. And then tuck the toes and lift up and back. Maybe walking the feet in a little. As you press down, you want to make sure you're not rounding the back. So you want to press the chest back toward the thighs. This is actually a little class for headstand prep. So we're just kind of going through some of the actions for headstand. So if your upper back rounds in this posture, that's a good indication that it's not time to go up into a headstand yet. Let's take the knees down and rest. So it's important to be able to draw your shoulder blades toward your chest or move your upper spine, your thoracic spine in toward the chest before you go into a headstand. Once again, interlace the fingers, elbows no wider than shoulders. Try to draw those shoulder blades toward the chest. Keep the belly lifted. Press away from the floor, so you're lifting the shoulders up toward the waist. Firm the legs, inner thighs spin back. Then step back about a foot. Bring your chest forward so your hips and your shoulders are about in the same line. Reach the tailbone toward the heels. So this dolphin plank is important to be able to do so that we know you have the core strength to be able to go up to a headstand. Because if you don't, you won't be able to hold yourself up there. Walk your feet in, lift your hips up back to dolphin. And draw the ribs in. And then to the knees and rest. I was going to add a headstand here, but I didn't have a wall today. So I'm going to add it when I have a wall. So I can show you how to use the wall because that's important. This one, we're going to find the crown of the head. So if you put your thumbs in your ears and touch your fingers at the top of the head, that's about the crown. Remember, elbows no wider than the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes and lift up. So now we need to watch to make sure we can press the head off the floor and lift the shoulders up toward the waist. That way we know that we can take most of the weight out of the head. So shoulders not down, but shoulders lifted. We only want about 30% of weight on the head. See, rounded back is no go. 30% of the weight on the head. The rest is arms and shoulders are doing the work. And then knees down to rest. And then extend the arms forward. Come to the knees, tuck the toes, lift up and back for down dog. Now let your head go. Just gently nodding yes, turning the head no. And gaze between your knees or your feet. Allow that neck to lengthen a little. And then coming forward again to plank. Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, press through the hands and feet. Exhale, lift the hips for down dog. Look up, either step or hop and sit down. And have a block handy. If you've got a block, keep it handy. Come on to the back. I'm going to take bridge pose. So we're going to take bridge, feet hips width apart, outer edges of the feet parallel. Inhale, lift in a bridge. Spiral the thighs in, roll the shoulders under, maybe interlacing the fingers. Tailbone reaches towards the backs of the knees, and that same thing with the shoulder blades moving toward the chest here as well. Also lift up your hip points towards your low ribs. And we'll come down and rest. Drop the knees in toward one another. So we're either going to take supported bridge with the block at the base of the spine, or if you want to take another regular bridge, or you can even take wheel pose. We went over wheel the other day. You could practice that. I like supported bridge. That bridge or that block is right at the base of the spine. There's a flat bone there called the sacrum. That feels really good. Now we'll lift the legs up. So if you have your block there, make sure it's either on the lowest or the medium height, not the highest. And then lifting the legs. And if you don't have a block, you can just lift the legs without it. This is called Viparita Karani. Legs up the wall pose, but without the wall. Little inversion. Inversions are calming. Some of them are. That one is. So we're going to lift up and release. Feet to the floor. Hug the knees in. Gently rocking side to side. Give that low back a nice little massage. Start to rock back and forth. We're going to take 2 or 3 rocks up and down the spine. And come all the way up to seated. If that doesn't work, roll to your right side and press up. Totally fine. Then fingertips will face the front, bend the knees, lift into reverse table, Purvottanasana variation. Let your head go back if that feels okay with your neck. Now look forward. Lift your right leg, right ankle past left knee, and then sit your hips down. So you can stay where you are, or come onto your forearms if that's a little too intense. Or you might walk your chest closer to your legs. It's a hip stretch. So go into the intensity that works for you. And let's release that. Feet hips width, fingertips forward. If it bothers the wrist though, turn the hands out toward the outside of the mat. Lift up. Tailbones reaching toward the backs of the knees. You can let your head go if you like. Take one more breath and then look forward. Left ankle just over the right knee, just past it. And then set yourself down. You can come onto the forearms if you wish, or stay where you were, or walk yourself in close. Let's get a nice stretch for your left hip. And releasing. And extend the legs for Dandasana. Pull the toes back. And then bend your right knee. And let's put the right foot over the left leg. Bring the right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up and twist on the exhale. Or you can hug that left leg. Every inhale, just imagine that you're creating length into your spine. And as you exhale, maybe twisting a little bit more. And then head to center and unwind. Take that right leg now out to the right. Right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, extend. Janu Shirsasana. So again, we want to keep length in the spine. So instead of thinking you want to get your head down onto your knee, think about lengthening your belly onto your thigh. If you can't reach the foot, use a strap. Inhale, come up and release. Now left knee bends. Take the left foot over the right leg. Left hand behind. You can wrap that right leg or inhale, lengthen. Exhaling, twist. As you inhale, sitting tall. As you exhale, roll your left shoulder back. Keep the collarbones wide. Inhale, head to center. Exhale to release. Now take that left foot to the right inner thigh. Inhale, arms reach. Turn toward the straight leg with a little teensy twist. And extend forward. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale to extend. If possible, try to lengthen the right side body from your right hip through your right armpit. The left generally gets a little bit longer in this position, so just even it out. Crown of the head is reaching forward, not reaching down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. And onto the back. Draw your knees in and keep your tailbone lengthening down. And then we'll release into Shavasana. Tailbone's going to reach to backs of heels. Let your feet flop open, arms by your sides. Close your eyes and rest. So I'm going to start with our quote today. This is a little bit longer. I don't want to run out of time. This is the beginning of a new day. You have been given this day to use as you will. You can waste it or use it for good. What you do today is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever. In its place is something that you have left behind. Let it be something good. Start to reawaken your body, stretch through your arms and legs, move your hands and your feet. And then we'll bend the knees and roll off to the right. Take a moment here to think of 2 things that you are grateful for today. And then let's press on up to seated. Sit up tall, hands together in Anjali Mudra. Hands to forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. And the hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And bring your hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Send out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, push the like button, leave us a comment, let me know how it's going. And visit fightmasteryoga.com. Join our mailing list. If you can afford a donation of any amount to help us keep this sustainable, There's a link below, or at Fightmaster Yoga, you can leave it. There's a button to push. There's also an Amazon link, so you can order through Amazon through our website. It doesn't cost you anymore, but it does help to support us. And most importantly, you must have a lovely day. And here comes Indy again saying hello. He was off from school today. There he goes. Oh my goodness. He got that from Grandma for Christmas. And here he comes. Look at that. Such a cutie.